If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
For all new and current subscribers, welcome back to Resilient Love.
Resilient is being able to overcome difficult situations. This podcast is about love,
tips on life, and how to level up in your business. Let's get started on the journey.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
We're back with another episode of Resilient Love. All right. So, how have you guys been doing? Let us know how everything has been, what has been going on in your world. I mean, have you been home? Are you an essential worker? I mean, let us know.
Are you just bored?
That's something else too.
Are you just sick of the house like I am? So, I'm kind of tired of the house a little bit. So, when I do get a chance to essentially go get goods and needs, I'm very, very happy.
Right. Awesome. So, we're going to go ahead and get right into our episode. We want to give you a live episode because a lot of people have told us that they prefer to see us as well as hear us. So, we decided this Saturday and maybe the next couple of Saturdays, we're going to give you the virtual and the audio. So, for my audio listeners, you can go check this episode out on YouTube once we get done with this recording. So, what are we talking about today, babe?
We are talking about a very important topic, which is, our title is Money Matters in Crisis. Especially with all that's going on, I truly think it's a wake-up call, not just in money, but in a lot of various areas. But today our topic is money and finances.
Yes. With money and finances, when it comes to a marriage, a lot of people say, statistically speaking, that money affects the marriage, as in it causes a lot of issues. But I'm here to tell you, to God be the glory, we've worked through all of that, and we're good. But we don't say it to throw business out there. We say it in the statistical aspect that it can get tricky.
And it's always a goal to strive to do better. I truly think you should live by the example of always try to be better than the day before.
Mm-hmm. And so we all have made choices financially that has affected us, and we really had to rebuild ourselves from those choices. But what we're saying when we say money matters in a crisis is that this pandemic came all of a sudden. And so we are really wanting to talk to you guys today about how that all of a sudden moment, were you prepared for it? Are you prepared for all of a sudden?
And a side note, I don't know who may have grown up around their grandparents or older people when you were young, but if you grew up in that era where you just noticed older people tend to keep a lot of cash on hand. And it seems like it's a good thing in times like this.
Oh, for sure. So, let's get into our first question. If you knew a crisis was coming, what financial decisions would you have made differently? What would you have done differently if you knew this was coming, Quinn?
comes about first. But what decisions I would have made differently was having more cash on hand
Mm-hmm.
in case. I mean, of course, we have right now a physical health pandemic, but what if we, I'm not trying to speak it over us, and I pray nothing happens, but what if we had a digital pandemic
Mm.
where the banks, the systems were just down and we couldn't
Yes.
access our money or move money? You always should have, I just was taught that you always should have cash on hand. And since this has happened, I truly want to have bundles, not hair, not hair, but I truly want to have bundles of cash on hand. It ain't got to be $1 million, but I definitely would like to have a good amount that at least, something happened that it could hold us over for a few months just in cash.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I love how he said digital pandemic because you can see, and this is a side note, you guys, but bear with me. Because when you're not prepared for something, you begin to make panic choices. Not prepared choices, but panic choices. And when you panic, you get anything you can get your hands on. And so, with that being said, for me, had I known that the shift would occur, as far as this health pandemic, I would have, y'all forgive me, I didn't write my answer down, but I would have basically begun my online presence more, like from a business aspect. I would have already had the systems in place to teach online to little kids. Because little did you guys know, I do still desire to teach. I am an educator by trade, but my purpose is also through media marketing. And so one thing I had desired to do is to create a preschool, basically an online preschool lesson plan, literally, where you click the video, you go through it, you do your little test, you pass that section, so on and so forth. And so now, right, everybody in the world is literally doing what I just said. So, and it's like if I had just pushed myself, because I can show y'all the notebook. I wrote that vision down in 2015, 2016. I wrote that vision down of basically teaching online, having online videos prepared for preschoolers. And I just dropped it. I dropped it. I was like, well, people go to school. Little kids ain't gonna get on a computer. But look at us now. 2020. This is a 5-year-old vision I had, and I was literally ahead of the time of the people. God gave me that vision, and I didn't follow it. So Lord forgive me for my disobedience. Because I probably could have been making bank right now. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. But I did not go through with it. And so I have to take that on as Lord forgive me, and move on. But had I known that in 2015 when I wrote the vision, that in 2020 there would be a health crisis that would literally close schools down, do y'all know where your girl could be right now? Where we
So
could be?
it teaches a lesson even in that to just say, when God gives you the desires of your heart in a portal that's not expected, have enough discernment to see the portal He's giving you to your blessing.
A portal to your blessing. That's good, baby. That's good. So that's my answer to that question, y'all. I mean, your girl could have been making bank. Ah.
It's all right. We got plenty of time to figure out other ways to make things.
Yeah.
But our next question is, what are some other ways to make income that you consider? This question stems from, since the pandemic happening, I'm pretty sure it's made everyone look at their financial status different, and their finances and their income differently. Um, Many people are laid off and furloughed. Um, just it's a chaotic time as far as employment goes.
Correct.
Um, at this, I mean, it's definitely every day is. I definitely reflect on this statement, but nobody's job is promised to them.
Yes, for sure.
And this teaches it in a more drastic way
Mhm.
to, I think, get the attention of the people to outsource your job and have a
Yeah,
job,
that's good outsourcing.
but think long term. Think about things that's going to still bring you revenue besides working for somebody else, also,
Yeah.
because that income can definitely be deleted one day.
Yeah, trust. Trust. So, with the question, what are some other ways to make income? I've actually considered babysitting, but because it's a health pandemic, I canceled that idea. Um, but all jokes aside, I really have considered helping out some very close individuals who, you know, wouldn't mind paying the fee that I would want, which would basically just be the same fee I got as a teacher. But that's the thing, people probably couldn't keep up with that. But nonetheless, another idea was and still is to develop like self care or not self care, but like beauty products. So skin, um, do it yourself products, basically, you guys. Skin, soap, wipes, hand sanitizer. Literally, I was thinking of if I do my own do it yourself because as you can see, y'all, a lot of people have did what since the pandemic. I'm gonna let you think. Do, 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 do. You're right. A lot of people have pulled out their sewing machines and begun making what? Masks. Every seamstress should be making some money right now. Or a woman or man who is good with sewing should be making some money right now because what are people looking for in this pandemic? Health products, sanitation type products, and some masks. Guess what? There has been a splurge in, I don't know if the term splurge is the best. Let me say this other word, spike. There has been a spike in the trend of TLC, Total Life Change products, because why? Their products hit a point of concern for the people, which is health. They are selling these products to detox the body, to help you drop weight, to keep your immune system strong. And so they have had a spike in interest. But guess who's had a decline? Clothes. Who's really running out to get a cute outfit when you got bills coming up? So there has been an uproar or a spike. Hi, thanks for tuning in. There has been an uproar or a spike in the health industry, but in the retail industry, not in all cases, but we're talking about places like Lane Bryant, Ross, TJ Maxx. These are places that have different shipments coming overseas, and those shipments are not coming in, which what has shut down.
And also that the fact that not just the shipments not coming in, but the people not coming in. If you can't sell what you already have,
come on now,
then there's no point in
receiving more.
Yeah. So I guess I should answer this question too.
You should.
So the things that I've thought about, other ways.
And we're talking about money matters in a crisis. And this question that we have right now is, what are some other ways to make money or make income during this uncertain time? And so I was saying I could have made do-it-yourself at home products or babysat, but hey, we're going to consider the second one later down the line. But Quentin, what are your ideas of income since the situation?
My ideas of income are I could make income from consulting. Um, Very big area of importance to me because Brianna says I'm very technical. So, almost like an attorney, I ask a lot of technical questions. I ask typically a lot of thought provoking questions. And I'm just well rounded when it comes to different areas. For many of you that didn't know, I grew up with my father. I went to live with my father when I was about 13. So I began to have various jobs from lawn care to helping renovate rentals.
Fix it.
Yeah. So I pretty much had everything. So there's a lot of areas that I can kind of touch on. One area of interest, typically my favorite passion, is really real estate.
It is.
Um, so that's an area I definitely plan on growing in, as well as I guess what you think that I'm more of an HR portal. I guess I can kind of help you in any way.
He wants to tiptoe with you guys today, but basically Quentin's desire that has basically been sparked by the crisis, okay? Sometimes what you have in your conscience gets sparked with a crisis because now your insides is telling your outsides, let's do it. Let's do this. And so basically he wants to be like a business consultant, as in HR concerns, trading, investing, stock concerns, even real estate, as in what commercial property should you buy now, since you have this one here in California. What about if you get one in North Carolina? Yada, yada, yada.
More so business and investing forecasting, how to prepare for the next stage.
Right. And so this crisis has sparked him, and we're actually going to have a conversation with our family member about finances, and he might be on the next episode. But anyway, so that's what he was saying when it comes to what would you do for income, and we want to know from you guys. Even if you're still making the income, that's great. To God be the glory. But what is something else that you could do or potentially thought about doing, and it could actually produce an income for you, and you hadn't really considered trying it until now?
Right. And as we continue to go through the next few days or whatnot, we'll try to come up with different content, creative content that stems thought-provoking questions in this area.
Right, because at the end of the day, we want you guys to not only have faith over fear, but we want you to actually be financially aware
and prepared.
So, let's get into our next one.
Okay. Our next question is, what habits have helped or hurt your finances?
Habits matter. He's looking right at me because I have the pit stop habit. That's what I call it. I always come up with these quirky phrases, but basically the pit stop habit is after I get off work, I pit stop to a fast food spot. And so the pit stop habit has hurt us because, of course, if you're pit stopping, that $5 to $7 is going to this place when you could have invested $20 at the grocery store, and y'all could have had 2, 3, 4 meals. So, yeah, the pit stop habit has definitely been something else, a factor. Excuse me. That's a hurtful factor. A factor that has helped our finances is.
So I'll do mine.
Okay.
I'll do a habit that I do, so she won't feel by herself. Because the restaurant she stops to, but the pit stops. I gotta say they got good food, so she do have good taste. Thank God. Do y'all want to know? Well, if you didn't know, now you know. It's Chick-fil-A.
Oh my God!
That's Chick-fil-A. So that's out there now.
If you want to bless the habit, so I won't have to tap into this budget.
Well, so what I do is I pit stop in a different way. I pit stop for goods and household things that we might need, and it keeps happening like throughout their week periodically. But of course, how many of you know that when you stop for one thing, you end up buying something that was totally not on the agenda?
Exactly.
So that is how you begin to increase the budget, or not even have a budget anymore. You deplete the budget.
Yeah, because of those pit stops. But look, let's read from our friend Miss K. She said her hobbies, delivering. I mean, Chick-fil-A is like you already know, but hobbies, delivering groceries, picking up prescriptions for elderly are some I have seen people suggesting for extra income. Awesome, yeah, I agree with those for sure because you know what? That's a really good one. We could do that. Pick up prescriptions. Because we're doing that now. We are. We're doing little habits for people. Little errands, for people. So thanks for that tip because, hey, we got plenty of older people we know that are not coming out the house. So that's definitely awesome.
We're like the grub hub that don't just do food. We do it all.
Yeah, we the hub for grub.
We've made what medicine runs. We've made the famous ones so far lately. Toilet paper runs.
Oh God! Well, we ain't done that.
We haven't done it much.
We did it for a family member,
right?
Yeah. So yeah, we've been rolling, good honey. You're right. We used up a lot of gas. Because we literally live 30 minutes away from our family, and so we're doing 30, 30, 30, 30, which is actually an hour on the road, plus the little baby stops in the city, plus you come back to your house. Okay, anyway.
And it takes time, so you feel like you're back at work.
Boom. So when you say I've been home, Quentin and I can only say we've been home like the first 3 hours of your average work day. But in the rest of that time that you might be at work, we're out helping. So it's not a bad thing, but we're not really home. We are essential workers for our family.
So we're essential workers for our family, our church, and also ourselves.
So we are essential.
When we get back, we still got our personal stuff. Brianna has her business stuff that she has to catch up on and her clients. We both are students, so we definitely have to get our homework done. And Lord knows, you would think that we would try not to be last minute, but some days it's like draining. And we just so depleted.
After all that running. After all. But, so those are a few habits, and we appreciate Miss K for hers.
And also...
Oh, the habits that help.
The habits that help.
Yeah.
The habits that has helped us so far is to avoid the pit stop. Actually, this habit has helped eliminate both of our areas of weakness.
Yes.
So, which is very good. Going to shopping at Sam's Club, buying in bulk. That's been a very good.
Shout out to my mom because she is a Sam's Club member. So we just roll up in there with her. We make our own purchases.
And now we're going to invest in our own car because now we really see the fruit of why it is important.
Yeah, Sam's Club is where it's at, especially because people might say, "Oh, it's expensive," but I feel like it's the same money. It's the same money. So just go ahead and invest the money one time versus, like he said, a run on this week, a run on.
And the quality.
It's good.
Like, she laughed the other day when I took out the trash and I had to double the bag. And
we had some Walmart trash bags.
The cheap ones, the great value. Nothing wrong with it.
It wasn't that great of a value.
No, it wasn't.
So.
And then when I got the Sam's bag, no problem. So, it just, you get what you pay for. And we also have been shopping at Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter's been a good help too.
Harris Teeter's awesome.
It is a little bit more expensive in some things. The thing I will say is that it really is not a big difference from your Food Line or your Piggly Wiggly or whatever place you may shop. I like it because the stuff is just a little bit fresher.
It's more variety at Harris Teeter because
and health. you can get more healthy items.
Yeah. Especially for those who are looking to be more organic and have those freshly made items. I think Harris Teeter is where it's at. I really would prefer to go to Whole Foods because Whole Foods has that extra oomph of healthy per se.
I didn't know
Yeah, Whole Foods. They was up. That's what's up. But because you can actually make your own peanut butter, but it's like not peanut butter. It could be like almond butter, cashew butter.
And trying to, yeah, and I don't know. It's just a lot of things that you like natural. Like you could tell artificial flavors from
Yes,
natural flavors.
and I think that all of that goes into being financially sound, and because your finances also dictate other areas of your life. Because if you don't have the means to purchase quote unquote quality, let me say that word, quality items, and you go for the cheaper brands, it's nothing wrong with those brands. It's just that the quality of what you're going to get out of it. Like somebody made a statement before, oh, well, I got it from Dollar Tree. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of have to chop it up to where you got it from. Because it's like, oh, I purchased this from Dollar Tree, that's why it broke.
And Dollar Tree works sometimes.
Dollar Tree does work, but there are some of them for Dollar Tree.
Yeah. You have to pick and choose wisely what.
Right. Have that discernment in shopping as well. So we just want to throw that little key point out there. We got one more question.
Next question.
What are your financial goals moving forward? So moving forward, after all said and done,
Preferably COVID-19 is gone.
it shall be. Our main focus is to actually take some tips out of these books that we're about to show you. So, this first book is Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. We have been looking at Dave Ramsey or following Dave Ramsey. He has great financial tips. Again, we all know that tips are what? Tricks that help one person, but it might not help you or it may help you. So you always take tips and you tweak them to fit your lifestyle. And so, but basically, he was just saying to save that first $1,000 and
For times like this.
for times like this. Always do that snowball effect with your debt and just have literally a total money makeover. So
And having budgets.
Budgets, yeah, for sure, budgets. And so we're still digging through this book, but moving forward, this is one of our resources for improving our health, and that is our money health, and that is Dave Ramsey, the Total Money Makeover. So that's a resource we want to share that we're working on. We're also this thing might stay on my shelf. I don't know. This next resource
I started reading that one.
is a resource from Q. His resource is called Think and Grow Rich, the complete classic text. It's a type of book it is, but here's a resource that he's been getting into, and it just helps with the mindset of money. You know, Dave Ramsey, he does touch on mindset, but this book is really touching on mindset. It does give you some practical tips, but it's touching on mindset.
And this book actually has different stories in it, different illustrations. One in particular, just to give a snippet, is Henry Ford. When he first started out, and his determination and his willingness to continue even though he had struggles, which led him to be one of the first affordable vehicles on the market with mass production.
Yes. So we want to show you those two resources because that's what we're doing moving forward. We're taking advantage of, inputting information so we can output success. We're inputting information so we can output success. Output, practical tips for life. Output how to save and move money around properly. And also because I do have a business, Behind the Screen Media LLC, my business helps with other small businesses to be able to brand and market their business. And so you want to also have a financial stability and a financial outlook that can positively impact those that listen to you. Because we all fall short in some area, but that's why we take opportunities to read, grow, think, and grow rich. Because that's how you get there. You're thinking. So,
And it's not just about being rich. I think people get the wrong term. Being rich does not mean being flashy and having extravagant things. Being rich, I like to use the term wealthy.
in knowledge.
hmm And
In
also,
success, as in you know things, you help others.
and being able to leave your kids something, being able to leave your family
That
something
legacy.
besides bills and uh,
Bills and problems.
and considering how to bury a proper burial, you would be surprised how many times that's a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to get your business straight on this side while you're in good health,
Mm-hmm.
so that your family members can grieve
Peacefully.
appropriately. Yeah, peacefully.
Mm-hmm. So I hope that Money Matters in a Crisis episode has helped you all recognize that, things do happen. But are you prepared for the pop-up? Are you prepared for the pop-ups? I remember, and I'm going to leave y'all with this story, and my husband's going to leave you with the level up tip. So the story that I want to leave you all with is actually from a pastor, Heather Lindsay, out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I remember her giving her testimony about how her husband had just gotten married and they had moved to Mississippi, I believe. But in essence, she had saved all this money, did all the preparations that we're discussing with you all today. And there was an incident that happened with her car. And everything she saved had to go into that car so that they could still have means of traveling because they were depending on her car at the time. And she brought that point up to say we cannot be solely anchored in money. Because she had this idea, if I save, let me just use Dave Ramsey tip, if I save $1,000, I'll be all right. It's like, you're going to be all right with Christ. But using wisdom from said financial people is great practical knowledge, but don't forget who you should trust and who your trust should be anchored in. Not the money, but who provides the money, which is Christ. So I just want to also give you all that point of illustration that we want to be ready for the pop-ups, but we know that in those moments where we may not be prepared, we know who's got us covered.
So you have to be practical and spiritual.
Right. And
as we conclude today, our level up tip of the day is there's never a wrong or right time to level up your finances. You have to execute the phrase like Nike and just do it.
Just get it right. Just make those changes.
In this moment, sometimes we fall into embarrassment,
mm-hmm.
not right from people, but just ourselves. Somebody else we may see, in a crisis like this, they're fine because they financially prepared. They really don't have a lot to, worry about, even if they got laid off.
Mm-hmm.
Just use that conviction as a true conviction, a conviction to do better, to do more. And even if you are saving, even if you are doing everything right, I am a perfectionist.
Help him, Lord. Because life ain't perfect.
And life ain't perfect. But I do strive to always do better.
Right. So don't be perfect. Just be prepared.
And see, these P's we've struggled with.
Word, premier. Y'all remember that from BET? Premiere. Anyway.
Let your bank account say that.
Let your bank account say cha-ching, 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 cha-ching,
Like the
cha-ching.
Cash App make you give you a little boost of confidence.
Yeah, you hear that little change drop. Sprinkle. Anyway, listen, y'all, we had fun with this episode. We are coming right back at you next Saturday, and the next Saturday, and the next Saturday, so be prepared.
And we'll continue to push content to support what we have discussed today.
So, have a great rest of your day. And leave us a review when you hear this on the podcast. It's going to be on Apple. It's going to be on Anchor. It's going to be on so many platforms. Just go check it out. And thank you so much for tuning in, Miss K. Take care, y'all. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Resilient Love Podcast. We wanted to take this opportunity to also let you know that you can help us by committing to a monthly fee of 99 cents, $2.99, or $9.99. Those contributions help us to keep this movement of resilient love going. Blessings to all listeners and subscribers. Thank you all.
Resilient love.